All right, today I want us to look at the cosine rule. We have looked at the area rule. Yesterday we looked at the sine rule, and today I want us to look at the cosine rule. But then I want to start from what we used yesterday. In designing or in formulating our sine rule, we had a triangle like this, and we dropped an altitude, we had our height, and we had x there. But today I'm going to use y, and we know that this whole side is b because it's opposite angle b, and then this side is opposite angle c, so it's c, and that one is a. We've spoken about that. So all this, you are familiar with this. But I want us to suppose that length there is x. So what will this length be? The whole length is b, remember? So if this one is x, so this would be b minus x. And now we are going to use Pythagoras. We're going to use a little bit of Pythagoras, and we use cos later. Okay, so using Pythagoras in BYC. Using Pythagoras to do what? Using Pythagoras to find h, because remember we have to define our h. Let's use Pythagoras to define our h there, to find our h. Okay, so using Pythagoras, let's think about Pythagoras. At Pythagoras, we say a squared is equal to b minus x plus h squared. So I can then say h squared is equal to a squared minus b minus x squared. Okay, from this side. Okay, so this is b, y, c. And then from this triangle, what will h squared be? H squared will be c squared minus c squared. Now you see, just like we had yesterday, we have h squared and h squared here, so we can equate them so they are the same. So let's go ahead and equate them. So we are going to say a squared minus b minus x squared is equal to c squared, say it's c squared minus x squared, right? So now let's rearrange here. So we're going to say a squared is equal to c squared minus x squared. When we transpose it that side, that will be plus b minus x squared, right? And then x squared, a squared is equal to that x squared, and then let's expand there. When we expand that one, that will be plus b squared minus 2 bx plus x squared. And then there's x squared, there's x squared, so they are both going to cancel. So we're going to remain with a squared is equal to c squared plus b squared minus 2bx. But then let's go back here. Here we have x. So in this triangle, let's use cos now. We're not going to use sine, but we're going to use cos, right? So if we're using cos, what would x be? What would cos A be, right? Cos A, but cos A is x over c. X over c, which your x would be C times cos A. And now we are going to substitute this there. Therefore, the formula would look like this. It will be A squared is equal to B squared plus C squared minus 2B and then C cos A. So that is the formula for finding the sides. Remember what we had in our objective. We want to find the length and angles of triangles that are not right angled. So here we are going to use this one. So we're going to say here, let's just put it down, to find the lengths of, let's just say just to find the lengths, that's okay. To find the length, the length, that would be okay. Just to find the length, or let's just write it in full. To find the lengths of triangles that are not right angled. So you can either use this, which is cosine rule, or you can use sine rule. So it will depend, and we are going to show with our examples how you are going to choose which one to use where. But then what about, where is the angle here? Because all these are the sides, remember? But then the angle is there. So let us see how we can manipulate this. So we can find, how can we find the angle? We know how to find the side, but now we want to know how can we find the angle. So let us transpose that side and make this positive, because this is one term. So that will be 2BC cos A will be equal to B squared plus C squared minus A squared. And then now we want to find, how can we find cos A? Let's divide by 2BC, and this side we divide by 2BC and simplify there. So you will have your cos A would be B squared plus C squared minus A squared all over 2BC. So that's the formula for finding what? For finding the angle. So if you want to find the angle of triangles that are not right angled, so you can use this or you can use sine rule. So it will depend on what you are given in terms of the sides and the angles. Then you have to decide between the two. Now, what I want you to do though is look at the pattern here and you tell me what will cos B like if cos A is like this, right? What will cos B like? Oh, and what will cos C look like? This is just the easy part. So you're just following the pattern here. Look here, we had cos A, and then it's B squared plus C squared minus A squared 2BC. So follow the pattern and cos C. All right. So we'll end it here, and then we are going to look at the examples in the next video, in part 2.